15 minutes now before 11 o'clock. Mbhazima Shilowa is a political commentator. Dr. Levy Ndou as well. They're joining us now on the line. Thank you, Mr. Shilowa. Thank you, Dr. Ndou, for making time for us. Good morning.
Thanks, Mr. Manyathela. Good morning to you too.
I don't know where to begin, so let me start with you, Mr. Shilowa. The ANC now seems to be on a campaign drive to spin what the president said yesterday. I don't know what you heard. If you heard what Mzwandile Masina said, he seems to say the president didn't really mean that the DA has the best metros. In fact, he says the DA has a lot to learn from the ANC and not the other way around. What do you make of that? Are they facing a PR crisis now?
No, I don't think so. You know, the late Karakas Asmal spoke about the tyranny of the soundbite. Mm-hmm. And we seem to be in the age of the X or social media the same way there. There were a lot of things that were said yesterday by the president, but we seem to have only just picked what he said on the report of the AG. So I'm happy to speak on that. Mm-hmm. I understood him to have said, one, the AG report is as it is, and it pains him every time it is presented that it says some of the most performing municipalities are DA-run municipalities, and spoke about the need to be able to benchmark in terms of those. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure why the ANC would want to tie itself in knots. Benchmarking happens all the time. A few weeks ago, MEC Lebogang Maile was in a meeting with the Western Cape counterparts, saying we're meeting because we want to be able to benchmark about each other. I think the problem for the ANC is that some of us, in creating the outrage, we have also added something that the president never said, that he had said the DA governs better, when he didn't say so. But I think the president is right. It is high time that the ANC take seriously what is in the AG report, do something about it. If not, as he says, it is survival. Their survival is not guaranteed, and there is nothing wrong learning from others. I did it when I was there. I think even now, many MECs meet across provinces. I'm not sure why suddenly this thing becomes a big issue. Even for some of us who have been commenting, there are some who have been saying, no, he's put the ANC campaign under the bus. What is wrong with what he has said is something nobody has been able to tell me.
So he did say that most of the municipalities, the municipalities that are best run are run by the Democratic Alliance.
Yes. No, he didn't. He said, Clement, I don't have to argue for him. I'm telling you what I heard. He said, this is what the AG says, and it pains him. And that's correct. That's what the AG have said.
Yeah, okay.
And so I don't think that's simply... I think we're confusing two things. The AG report is about use appropriately of resources and so forth. There are things that the AG report never looks at. That is the issue of the levels of poverty in each of the municipalities, the level of whether there are new roads being built, new houses, sewage being collected, and all of those. All of those things can be looked at, and you will find in some municipalities run by the DA, even where they get a proper audit, a clean audit, those other issues would not be there. You will find there will be municipalities that are coming out very badly in terms of accounting for resources.
Yeah.
But you find that they are also they can show that we've been able to build so many things.
Yeah, and of course the AG report is not the only one you can use as a benchmark. I've mentioned a number of reports on the show this morning already, even independent reports like the Good Governance Africa report that doesn't just look at the issue of finances. In fact, let's hear directly from what the president said here when he was addressing this conference yesterday, and then I'm going to go to Dr. Ndou.
Those municipalities that do best are not ANC-controlled municipalities. And I can name it here because there's nothing wrong with competition. They are often DA-controlled municipalities. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that they are doing that is better than what we are doing?
Yeah. So that's what the president said here. It was very clear about what he thinks are the municipalities. And of course, he responded to what the Auditor General has said to back up the statement he makes. Dr. Ndou, what do you make of the anger that's now coming from the African National Congress? Because there are some of them have already tweeted, some have been calling journalists and just complaining about their president, that he is basically decampaigning the African National Congress. I mean, the president didn't lie. The question they're asking is this a statement you make? Is it politically smart a few months ahead of the local government elections?
Good morning, Clement. Good morning, Mr. Shilowa and the listeners at home. I would love to concur with what has been raised by Mr. Shilowa, that the focus appears to be on part of the sentence or part of the paragraph that was raised by the president. I think what would be very important would be to look at the fact that all the issues of concern that the president is raising are not new things. Mm-hmm. There are a number of reports that, as we've indicated, that talk to the performance of local government. And indeed, there are specific municipalities that have been identified to be doing good or complying with certain regulations as prescribed by the regulations that we have. And I think what is also very important is that it is also not wrong to have elected representatives cooperating with others or with their counterparts in order to be able to learn best practices. But what also is something that we need to consider is that before this roll call meeting was called, the president embarked on a trip to a number of provinces in the country, and specifically looking at the state of local government. Mm-hmm. What I do recall very vividly is that the last province that he visited was the Northwest Province, and the reports are still fresh in our minds. The state of local government in most of our provinces is not in a very, very good shape. Mm-hmm. And it appears as if the ANC now, it's in a panic mode because they are aware that a lot of things are not happening correctly.
Well, did they just get aware, 7-8 months before serious campaigning is going to begin for the local government elections? That just boggles my mind. I'm going to bring in Mr. Shilowa and Dr. Ndou back after the break. It's 7 before 11.
Calling all golf pros. Hollywood Bets invites you to step onto the green. Tee up, take a swing and enjoy glorious golf action from electrifying competitions and thrilling live tournaments. Get ready to conquer the fairway and chase epic fortunes. Ready to master the odds and experience your crowning moment? Bet now on all the excitement and prepare to make your hole-in-one shot to sensational success. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9, featuring Tracker. Their CEO, Dylan Fernando, will be in conversation with Bongani Bingwa. Join us every Wednesday as we highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and make a difference together.
Let's count backward. 5, insurance. 4, pineapple. 3, insurance. 2, pineapple. 1, you're under. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
You're with Clement Manyathela.
702. Let's walk the talk.
5 minutes before 11 o'clock, speaking to Mbhazima, Shilowa and Dr. Levi Ndou, political commentators. Mr. Shilowa, it's all good and well to have these imbizos and talk about what needs to be done and get marching orders from the president. But is it late? Could this have been done much earlier? I mean, elections are coming up next year. Is it not too late? In other words, can these councillors go back to their metros or their municipalities and start the work of cleaning house to a point that they can convince the residents in those municipalities to give the ANC another chance in the elections?
Well, it's never too late, at least when you look at it as a voter. I think anything that a councillor or a government does, even if it's just simply for elections, it's something to be welcomed. So no, I don't think it's too late. I think it's too late only insofar as Mr. Ndou was saying, these are not something new. This is something that everybody else have known. In fact, they were raised in 2016. They were raised in 2021. They'll become issues now. But, voters are a forgiving lot. If councillors goes back and do what needs to be done, you will be surprised at the response. However, having said that, for me, the real issue is not just to focus on councillors. It's if we really want accountability, we've got to look at accountability from the cabinet, from members of the ANC who are in the cabinet, who are in provincial structures, as well as councillors. In that way, it means you're not just singling out councillors. For instance, my councillor in Guyana can't do anything about water, because water is something that is controlled at a national level. So instead of holding him accountable, Mbhazima must be held
What about infrastructure, though? Because it's councils that also decide on how much money is spent to maintain water infrastructure.
No, I know.
So it's partly their responsibility.
Yes, no, I know, and I agree with you. But I think the framing sometimes is a bit of a difficulty. There's very little a ward councillor can do. There's more a mayor and the whole caucus can do.
Yeah.
Yes, councillors must account, but I think we must put a little bit more focus on those who run the municipality, being the mayor, the speaker, and the leader of the caucus.
Got it. Yeah. Dr. Ndou, what do you think all of this means for the Democratic Alliance? I mean, they are so excited. I'm sure we're going to see TV adverts on the SABC where they probably use the president's clip to demonstrate to voters that they are the party that runs municipalities better, as the president indicated. What do you think this all means for the DA?
The DA, in my view, would have all the reasons to celebrate and be excited, not only because of the president's speech, but because of the Auditor General's report and many other reports. And it will also be, they will add more onto their slogans that always says that where we govern, we govern better. But I think I want to add on what Mr. Shilowa has just indicated. The councillors have got certain responsibilities to perform, but I think we also need to have very strong administration in the different municipalities. We need to be able to build sufficient capacity, equip these municipalities with skilled people, professionalize them to ensure that when councillors get into office, they've got a very strong foundation in the council. The council can be able to run its affairs, and what you therefore need is an additional responsibility that will come from the political representatives.
Yeah. Dr. Levi Ndou and Mbhazima Shilowa, thanks to both of you for making time for us.